This is Amária Sweet with HeartMind Expressions. And today I've got a good friend, Felicia LuQué, and I love what she talks about here. She calls herself a seeker of truth, a spiritual love warrior, kind of like one of those goddess queens. I love it. She's here to make a difference in people's lives by waking them up to the greatness in themselves or waking up the greatness in others. And so I would actually love to just turn the calm over to you. And I know that you've got some awesome things that you do to help people. And do you want to explain a little bit what you do on that?
Sure. Hi, everybody. So I'm a designer. I've been doing that for over 25 years, fashion, and I crossed over to making jewelry due to my guides telling me like it's time right now. And it was back in 2005 when I was really like waking up to my spirituality. And I got very connected to crystals. I have an affinity for crystals. I have crystals all over my house. I love gems, anything that has to do with the elementals. That's me, especially crystals. And so having that in my toolbox, that led me to helping healing people through crystals, because people would say like, oh, that's so beautiful what you have on, and I tell them like, oh, it's this crystal, it helps with this and it means that, et cetera, et cetera. And then they're like, ooh, I want one, or how much is that? Or, like, oh, well, yeah. And then one thing led to another. And then they would start asking questions about God, goddess, all that is, spirituality. And that has had me ask them questions about their life and what they, what blocks they might have, or if they like to take their life to the next level. I was able to facilitate that through some healing sessions, which I call frequency adjustments. And we would adjust the frequency through using a certain type of meditation and technique that I have that leads me to, I don't know, dismantling a certain core belief, a limiting belief, to be able to infuse a new truth within. So then that way you're a magnet to that. It's law of attraction, law of vibration. And absolutely. I really love that. And then I infuse also some Reiki energy with it.
Awesome. So I love that. You're very similar to a lot of us elemental light workers, which is beautiful. I absolutely love that. What are some of the favorite crystals that you like to work with people?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I can't. I have a very strong affinity to labradorite right now. I'm actually wearing.
Me too.
Here, look.
Soul sisters. Yeah. Labradorite and moonstone. So, yep, yeah. There we go. It's a powerful stone.
It really is, and I have certain type of readings that I do with crystals, and I do crystal readings so that when people come to me and they're like, oh, I don't know what jewelry or what stone is for me, so I sit them down and we do a crystal like oracle card. And
that's cool.
Yeah. And then we create through what the guides are telling us is meant for that person. But yeah, the labradorite is one of my favorites right now. Lapis lazuli is one that I have it right next to my bed. I have both of them right next to my bed. And I love amethyst, of course, and rose quartz and clear quartz. And those are like my go-tos that I love to work with. I love all crystals. So
I know, right?
They're all my children.
If I could make my house out of crystals, I think we would be there, right?
Yeah.
That's really cool. So as far as sessions go, whenever you meet someone or basically are taking them on a journey, so you would line them up with a crystal that would match the frequency the best, and then from there, when you're doing like the reframing that you're doing, either like psionically or however you're doing, like what is it that usually your biggest goal would be to help with that person on changing, maybe if it's a mind, body, spirit, or do you kind of do, I guess, I'm like trying to think what's the best way to frame the question.
I think I understand what you mean. So, so if a person comes to me and say, hey, I would like a frequency adjustment, I would first of all ask them questions about what they want to take to the next level in their life, whether it be a project or a relationship or even, some issue that they're dealing with work, or maybe they had this project they've had on the shelf for so long, so maybe they're dealing with procrastination. So it could be anything that stops anybody from being their true selves. We look together, like I'm with that person. We look together. I'm just a conduit. I'm a channel. So I don't like to say like I'm, better or more than you, because we're all in the same frequency.
Exactly.
There's just stuff in the way. That's all. And so I sit them down, lay them down, and I put them into this very, light meditation, and then I start asking questions. And it's similar to like a coaching, kind of like I'm coaching, because coaching is really asking questions. It's not really advice.
Right.
So it's just unpeeling those layers that are not them with them together, and I'm with them. And, this past year, I think, the last 8 months, we started going into past lives, and I was like, oh,
Awesome.
yeah, I haven't done that before. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So then now, okay, of course, there's some healing that has to be done in past lives to find out why you have the reoccurring pattern that people normally have, whether it be finding the wrong people to, be with, or, finding money, losing money, like that. There's certain patterns that we all have that we keep repeating over and over. And there's a way to get in there with that dismantling of the core belief. So I think that's
awesome.
You meant.
And like we've talked about a little bit before, I've been an NLP practitioner for over 7 years now, and thousands of hours. It's crazy just what you can get into when you're working with people. But a lot of what you've talked about really resonates with that. And it fascinates me that you were able to pick up on that kind of technicality so fluidly, so naturally. A lot of people, like I've seen people do that. Others, like myself, I had to be trained because I just did not get a clue. So, but that's really awesome that you're able to take the energies and be able to coach somebody and add that, of course, that intuitive aspect. I'm so grateful that there's more of us that are waking up to that and those blessings. Now you're from the California area, of course, and so like any of the people with C4OC Radio and Revelation Radio, we've got people like in Los Angeles and in Las Vegas and other parts of the country that I think would definitely benefit. So towards the end of this, we'll definitely make sure to get your information out there for anyone that would love to get a contact on that. And so
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
what are some other things that you like to do as far as you've got like your crystals, your coaching, like your psionic type coaching that you're doing? Do you ever do like tarot readings or any kind of like solar charts or anything like that as well? Or
Well, I've been practicing with my dragon oracle cards, and I also have
nice.
my fairy cards, because I have fairies around me.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and I do my crystal readings also for people who, want to find out what crystal they resonate with, because a lot of times people don't know. The last reading I had, actually, the person that I read, she had no idea about crystals, and she was very open, and she's like, okay, give me a reading, because if you don't know anything about crystals, that's a perfect segue to find out which ones you resonate with, because there's little souls in each crystal, and they have messages for us. Yeah. And so basically what I do. And also, if people are going through any type of physical ailments, for some reason, I get downloads instantly like, oh, okay, that person needs to do that and take that herb and do this and that. I have so much information that I've acquired, and I have a lot of remedies for people, especially right now, and I have a lot to offer with
That's awesome.
feeling good. That's my motto, is feeling good. I don't even like to use the word healing anymore, because healing implies like something's wrong with you. Nothing's wrong with you. Nothing's wrong with us. There's just stuff blocking us. That's all.
Right. That's a perfect explanation of that too. I talk a lot to people, excuse me, as I do. Some people call it psychic surgery. I don't really like the word psychic, but sometimes it's like you got to have a reference, and so that's kind of my dirty reference of finding like the entities and stuff. But we both obviously have that shamanic practice that comes from ancient times. That's one thing that I connected with you when we first met, that we definitely are very ancient souls. And so it really is an honor to be called to be able to help people with that. And so I'm fascinated with the kind of like, I guess you feel good type things that you do. What would you suggest for people to help maybe stay a little bit more calm and relaxed?
So the question was, what kind of herbs or recommendations, right? Because it would be suggestions. I'm not a doctor. However, I do have a lot of knowledge and personal experience regarding remedies. So right now, to stay calm, definitely breathing. Breathing actually really calms down your emotions. So if you can remember to breathe properly, like take some good deep breaths through your nose and out through your mouth. I like to have the good deep breaths through your nose and out through the nose. It's a very Kundalini type of technique, which actually helps build that lung, and in the lungs, truth is stored in the lungs. And you have the heart where you have love, and it's a symbiotic relationship. So if you can keep that lung vibe going and pump in really good oxygen and go into nature and go ground, like go outside, go barefoot, go lay down on a piece of like cotton cloth and spread out. Mother Earth really has a lot of electricity and magnetism to give us. That actually heals a lot of people who have different types of ailments, ADD, a lot of ailments. I'm not going to go into what it does, but if you feel like you need some help with anything, even breathing, go outside and go barefoot, or even with moccasins. If you are living in a place where there's like a lot of dogs that are, people walking dogs, and you don't want to step on the grass because, there's poop there.
Right.
Yeah, just take your moccasins.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Leather soles. That's what Native Americans do, right? When they walk around, they like to have that electromagnetic pulse from the earth.
I gotta find my moccasins.
Yeah. Like I said, just go barefoot,
Yeah.
So that would definitely calm you or calm us. And what we've been doing, my mom lives with me. What we've been doing, and I'm taking care of her. She's 81. And she's been healthy, and nothing's wrong with her at all. She doesn't take any medication. And her and I are on the same regimen. We take quinine or tonic water, like half of a bottle each, and we put some chlorophyll in it. So you get the chlorophyll has the oxygen. And so what happens is that when our immune system is lowered, it's only because the oxygen in our cells have been compromised. So we got to put some oxygen in the body. So that's why nature is great. Grounding is great. Hug a tree. I kiss them. Yes. So go do that. They're antennas from the earth. And that will definitely ground you if you're feeling sick or anything like that. But yeah, chlorophyll drops with some tonic water, and some Shilajit, if you can get that. That has that fulvic and
Oh,
the
the fulvic
magnesium,
acid. Yeah.
fulvic acid, magnesium, a lot of what do you call it?
Does
Uh,
it have like selenium or potassium?
Potassium, sodium. Yeah, we need all that stuff, especially magnesium. Vitamin
Mm.
D. I take vitamin D, and I highly recommend it. I know they say stay inside right now, but go get some sun. Get
I
some.
know, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
stay inside. Fuck that shit. I'm going outside. Let's go to the river, man.
Yes, look, go get some sun. If you're feeling like you're still under
Yes.
the weather, we can control our own health. We can self-heal.
Yes.
So go get some sun. And actually, when you get, from my research, when you receive that sun energy, not only does it give you the vitamins you need to be vital and keep you vibrant, it actually activates your pineal gland, your third eye. It actually gives you electricity, and it gives you that sense of who you really are. It starts to activate who you really are, especially right now. A lot of light workers, a lot of star seeds are waking up to who they are and to the mission that we have right now on the planet. Go get some sun. Uh,
Yes.
I mean, that's pretty much the basic thing that you can do to, at least have some type of foundation for yourself for health. Of course, I have other remedies too, and I could put it on a blog or something. I'll send it to you. You could put it down for people if they want to follow my recipe.
There you go.
Question though.
That's awesome. Well, and the cool thing about like chlorophyll that some people may not know is that also pulls heavy metals from your brain and your body. And so, which is really, really a good thing. So,
Yeah.
and if you like cilantro, I'm like add it to the diet as well because that also is going to help to pull. But you want to have the chlorophyll with the cilantro, and that comes from Dr. Chris Shea, a physician that studied and studied and studied on heavy metal detox.
What was the
And
doctor?
he actually almost accidentally killed himself. Chris Shade, Schade.
Okay.
He actually has a product. I think he's the Zija guy. It's yeah, because it's the moringa drink. But he talks
Okay.
about a lot. He does different programs with heavy metal detox, and so I did his program, and oh man, did it ever!
Wow.
It cleared out. It really. I decalcified my pineal, and then started getting the heavy metals out because I was getting kind of like dementia type um,
Ooh.
issues, like forgetting a lot of stuff and
Yeah.
just feeling like there was something missing. And at the same time as waking up, you're just like, what? This is even more confusing. What's real and what's not? And so it's been, let's see, when did I do that detox? It was December of 2018. And then I just have continued. And zeolite is also another one
Right.
that I've used. And so,
Right. Oh, and shungite. Okay.
yes,
So check
yes.
this out. Check this out. I already drank this water this morning, but I have a mason jar. I
Fun.
actually put words on my jar because the water, according to Dr. Emoto, he's a Japanese
Yes.
scientist. He did those tests with water. If you look him up, Dr. Emoto, and if you put words on your bottle, it actually gets the energy of what the word vibes
Right.
with. So this right here is a shungite stone. It's shungite, Shungite. Get some of this, okay? This actually helps repel electronic smog. The EMFs that are running rampant that actually lower our immune system. And the technology actually, if you're on the computer too much, or if you're on your phone, in front of the TV, all that stuff, it actually does hurt your body. There hasn't been any widespread studies on it because I don't know, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but they're hiding that stuff, those things from us because they don't want us to know. They just want us to keep using the devices to lower our immune system.
Mhm.
However,
Well,
there has been studies in the past that they've hidden. There's a book called The Invisible Rainbow It's by a doctor, I believe. I don't recall the name right now, but it's called The Invisible Rainbow. And they did studies on these towers that came out in 1918, right when the Spanish flu came out. They put up 13 radio towers worldwide, and that caused a worldwide pandemic and lowered everyone's immune system. That's what really happened. That's what they're hiding from us. So, so yeah, check that out. But that's in my world, in my research, I'm making sure that I repel any type of technology. And so shungite water. So you put it in the mason jar, fill it up with water overnight, and then you drink. I drink it every morning, not like religiously. And that actually clears out all the heavy metals, radiation, and electrosmog as well. So
how many hours would be a minimum if somebody can't do overnight and they forget or something? Or like, ah, crap. Like, how many could they do maybe minimum, do you think, to charge it?
I don't know. What came to mind was 2 to 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours.
But to be quite frank with you, you can really put whatever time you want on it because your reality is your reality. So
that's true.
If you say 15 minutes, because that also came into my mind, if you say 15 minutes, then 15 minutes it is. And then you just drink it. And with that, whatever you believe in is true for you, then that's how it's going to show up.
Very well put. Thank you for the reminder. We do create our matrix, that's for sure.
We do.
That's cool. I love the water idea. I haven't done it in a while because a pitcher I had in my refrigerator had broken, and I've got a big honking chunk of shungite as well. And so, yeah, wow.
Yeah, also wearing it actually helps as well. You know, they have some that actually have, I'm an affiliate marketer for shungite, actually.
Nice.
You can put it on your cell phone, and mine hasn't come in the mail, and it's got this beautiful sacred geometry on it. You can put it on your phone, you can wear it. I'm sure you can find some on Amazon.
Right.
Yeah. Put some around your computer. I know it sounds woo-woo-ish. However, it works.
And if we think of like grids, like any sacred geometry, that's one thing that I like to do is I've got rocks all over my house, just making a grid. And it's funny because like the crystal children that come over that are like hanging out with my sons, they'll come in, and especially this one kid, I just love him. I won't say names just for their protection since they're children.
Right.
But he's one of my boys. He's one of my sons. And I remember he came in one day, he's like, wow, it feels like heaven in here. And I was like, oh, really? And he was just like holding his heart, kind of walking around the house, and wow, what's the feeling here? It's like heaven.
Oh
and I was like, oh my God, I love it. Because I actually work with GANs and of course crystals and stuff. And so the product that I've been working on, I haven't quite released it yet. I've noticed a difference just energetically with autoimmune disease that I've had since I was a child. It's amazing that it helps me to stay more balanced and level feeling, and I don't feel as tired. I actually only require about 4 hours of sleep most nights. Wow. And because I'll go to bed, even if it's like midnight, I'll be up at like between 4 and 6.
Well, when were you up when I was up? I was like, what?
I'm always up so early. Yeah, today it was a 4 a.m. wake up, and I literally went from really deep dream state to I'm up. Damn it. Okay, we're getting to work.
Good for you. That's crazy. Oh, wow. You're 2 hours ahead of me, too, I think, right? Or 3.
Mountain Standard. Let's see, you're Pacific, right? Mm-hmm. So I guess it's 1 hour ahead. So, which isn't too bad, but that's like crazy. I'm like, and well, it's funny because one of my friends that I had interviewed in another interview, Alex Bloom, he also we get to teasing him because he's like, he has a page that's Alex Bloom never sleeps, and so I think there's just some of us that we after you get your vibrations so high, it's like we require less sleep, less food, less water, less
true.
Really everything. I feel like we're more balanced. And so, just getting the information out to people to help them so they can understand, crystals better, or what can you do with your food, or just mindfulness, like the grounding. And I love to hear people's different takes on grounding, because everyone has their own pattern, and maybe your pattern will resonate higher with somebody else, where mine might resonate with a different person. And so that's one thing I really love about doing this webcast, because we all do things differently and we all resonate differently. And so that's beautiful. I love how you do your practice. It's so beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, we can get different ideas from everybody. Like last night I was listening to oh gosh, what's her name? Her name is Moon Raven.
Mm-hmm.
Look her up on YouTube. Moon Raven Art, I think. Yeah, she's a very interesting chick. She's pretty rad. And she said that she takes these baths that she has to take when she goes into a crowd, and there's all sorts of people coming in there with their own energies and stuff like that. And because I'm very sensitive to energy, I could pick people's energy up, and I can actually let them go faster than I used to. I've really acquired that that technique to be able to like let it go and do my own like cleansing with what I say. However, she was suggesting when she's in a crowd of sorts that she comes home and she takes a bath, and I think she was calling it like a rainbow bath or something. And that really gave me a great idea, like, because if I'm very sensitive to energy, duh, why didn't I think about taking a bath?
Right.
Cleanse the energies out, like, but
that makes sense.
You forget.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, and if you put, like, I like to do like the Epsom salts, and then sometimes I'll even do Himalayan salt as well with the Epsom salts if I feel really that sticky energy, or some oils, because I love like the copals, like what's it? Peppermint is always really uplifting.
Lavender.
I like to mix that. Yes, lavender, and lavender and orange oil together is actually very refreshing and very uplifting. And so I think it was a doTERRA mix that I had found. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it had those two oils and something else, and I was like, ooh, I like that.
I like doTERRA, and I like the orange. That's a great idea. That actually reminded me, one of my favorite oils, my citrus oils, my favorite one is grapefruit. It's so good.
Yes, it's such a happy, like bright oil. It's just really fun. I love that. Mm-hmm.
Me too.
And there's so many good products, like Native American Nutritionals is another really high quality oil. I don't like to just stick with one company because there's so many good ones. Like again, like the doTERRA I love.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one? Because I know that Zija, it's another one of the multi-level marketing companies. They have great products, and I'm trying to remember the name of their oils, but they also have really high quality oils as well.
Young Life, I think, and then the other one, wasn't it? There's like another one.
Living.
Young Living.
What's the other one? There's one that's out here. Time Labs is another one that I think I don't know if it's Idaho based. I know that they do have a big company here that they do produce in Idaho, but I'm not sure if Time Labs is specifically Idaho based. But they also do another good one. I think like the company Melaleuca has a few good ones. I think I wish I could remember the name of the brand, because there's one that like the frankincense itself is so high quality, I eat it.
It's so expensive too.
It's like $75 for 0.5 mil, and you're like, oh!
Yeah,
some of them are.
I'm worth it.
Yes, because we are worth it.
One thing I wanted to share with you that I didn't mention about herbs is a remedy that I'm doing. It's called oat straw. It's native to California. It's called oat straw. And you can get it on mountainroseherbs.com. They have very, very good organic herbs. I highly recommend that site. And I got like 3 pounds. Last time it was like $13 a pound of oat straw. And I swear to you, it lasted like for 2 people, it lasted us 2 years, I think. We took a handful.
Wow.
Yeah, mountainroseherbs.com. We take a handful per each person. We put it in a mason jar with water. We do it overnight. You don't have to heat it up, and you have to strain it in the morning. So I do my shungite water in the morning, and then I do the oat straw with my amino acids and my biomedic from Purium. I also sell superfoods. I forgot. I still sell superfoods
Oh,
and
that's really
CBD
cool.
oil. I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
No, hey, bring it on, girl.
yeah, there's some aminos that I take because I'm vegan and I need my protein. And
Oh,
honestly,
yes, you have
uh,
to.
I'm not hungry. It takes care of me for for the protein that I need for my body. So I do that with the herb water, the oat straw. The oat straw is very good for my hormones. I'm actually I think I'm menopause now, like for sure, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to take care of my
Wow.
hormones. And so
That's
because
good to know because I've had a hysterectomy and I know that there's other listeners that have had hysterectomies. I don't take Big Harma. I will
ditto,
not do it. And so
ditto, no, no, it
that's
kills
good
you
to know because I've done
slowly.
raspberry.
Yeah, get some oat straw. Also, there's other herbs called Damiana, and that's really good for your hormones. It's actually good for your libido, if you're older, and it helps with that sexual, Kundalini energy. And
Awesome.
also, I think it's called Siberian ginseng. So I
Uh,
do the shungite water. I do the oat straw. The oat straw is actually helps me because I live in the desert. I live in Palm Springs, California. It's 110 degrees right now. Okay, and
uh,
when I moved
Death
from
Valley.
what was that?
I was like, Death Valley.
Totally. However, luckily I live on a golf course, so there's like some good
Oh,
green.
good, good,
Yeah.
good.
So because I live here, I moved out here 5 years ago. My skin started getting really dehydrated, and I asked my herbalist what's good for it, and she said oat straw. Oat straw helps with hydration. So
Awesome.
So if you feel like your skin is sagging or getting that crepey skin, oat straw, and be religious every day, no matter what, and just get a really good strainer because the herbs they're really fine sometimes, so you need like those tea strainers for it. So yeah, highly recommend the oat straw.
I'm liking this. You got a lot of really good suggestions. Some of the stuff I've never even heard of. I mean, Siberian ginseng I have, but wow, that's really cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about, you said that you do have a company that you sell some stuff for. I trust your opinion. And so what is the products like that you're selling, like the natural health products?
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I done so many multi-level marketing like things my whole life. I must have gone through at least, I don't know, I'm not exaggerating either. I think at least 10. I haven't really counted, but I'm sure there was more than 10. And
Right?
um, and so I found the unicorn of multi-level marketing companies, and it's called Purium. It stands for purity and premium, and they are a very great company, very integrous. The owners are amazing. The people that are uh, in the company, they're a lot of burners, a lot of fire dancers, a lot of Reiki
Oh, that's
practitioners, like
cool.
holistic people. So it's my people, and
Yeah.
so they have fine quality products, organic, and it's vegan, and they're gearing to be plastic free by 2021.
Awesome. I like that a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, so they're pouches that they send you where they have their product in. Like say they have so there's some products called the Core 4, and it's the Power Shake, the Biomedic, and the Apothecary, and the Amino 23s. So this is a regimen that I do every day. I don't have to worry about am I eating the right food? Am I, just in the morning, I have my aminos, and they hit you in 23 minutes. So there's my protein right there. And then the power shake, it's like your greens. It's not a protein shake, it's a power shake. So it's all the nutrients. So
good. So you're getting your vitamins. And do you know what kind of B vitamins are in that? Or because I know a lot of like methylcobalamin is supposed to be the highest level of B12 that you can get. Cyanocobalamin is another one that people can take as well, but my naturopath had said it's the methylcobalamin that methylates the best with basically being able to keep your energy up. And so that'd be a good thing to look at.
Yeah, actually right now, B12, B6, B9, all the Bs, we need that right now. All of us.
Huge lack in our food system. We definitely need those. Especially anyone that has an autoimmune disease, you've got to have your B vitamins, because otherwise you're just gonna tucker out before the day's even half up.
Totally. Yeah. And it actually relieves stress. So if you're going through any type of stress that your body's going through, whether it's like lack of sleep because you're working too much, or you're not working and you have stress, B12s, B9s, all the Bs, the B complex, just do your B shot or that B vitamin that you recommended, which I'm going to write down after to find out if those power shakes have it. But they have the best quality ingredients. Like they don't even have anything that flavors their stuff. Like they have to use real raspberry with real, to get the raspberry flavor, they have to like mix a certain like lemon with this other flavor that's natural to get that raspberry flavor. They don't flavor anything. They don't have anything that's colored either. And then they have this other product, which I really, really like because it actually helps clean up and decalcify your third eye. And also, especially if you're vegetarian and you're eating a lot of vegetables, it's called Biomedic. It helps alleviate extracting the glyphosate out of your body. There's no other product on the planet that does that right now, and it's organic.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. Yeah. That's huge, just because that makes it. I thought I had celiacs, and I literally, when I got off of gluten for several years, I got better and my gut healed, the leaky gut went away, and I started healing disease. I didn't have cancer anymore, and I went into remission with autoimmune. And then last summer, about July, I got a little lazy again. I've been having a little wheat, and I'm having some sandwiches and stuff. And I've noticed if I get into something that's non-organic, it's got to be the glyphosate. It really tears up the gut.
It does. Bad. A lot of stuff tears up the gut. I heard even beans tear up the gut.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, dang it, there goes the musical fruit.
Well, for me, because I'm vegan, I don't have my protein, so I gotta do that. But yeah, the musical fruit, that was cute.
We eat a lot of those musical fruits, so I'm very musical.
I'm
a professional. Yeah. Oh my God.
That's funny.
That's cool.
Yeah, to kind of like wrap up that core 4 thing. So then you got these 3 ingredients. Then you got the apothecary. This is made out of real tart cherries, and it's natural melatonin.
Yes. Well, and then the amount of vitamin C in that's a natural chelator for heavy metals too. So
amazing. Yeah, it all makes sense. So that's my regimen. That's like my religious remedy right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then of course I have the organic CBD oil, which is incredible. And I know there's other products out there that claim to be organic and the best CBD oil, but honestly, I trust this company. Like I tell you, I don't have any other MLM companies that I've been in. Like this is it. I found the unicorn. This is it.
There you go. There you go. Cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, we'll definitely put your link down on the bottom for anyone that wants to take a look at that, because I know some people like to try those out, and who knows, it'll help somebody. That's really cool.
Exactly. You don't have to think about it. Like if you're limited with cash to buy food, if you spend, I don't know, I think it's like $180 plus shipping every month, and it's a 30-day supply, and you just eat once a day, you're good to go. You'll probably lose
Wow.
a lot of weight. You'll probably lose, you probably clean yourself of some parasites.
Right.
But yeah, you don't have to think about it. Like I'm vegan, and I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is my protein, this is my carb, these are my vitamins, da da da. Da.
No.
I don't have to think about it. I'm like, I got it
Well,
right.
and the difference the body feels, I've lost and have kept off over 100 pounds. And getting rid of that toxic yellow fat and building the healthy brown fat back into the body makes so much difference. Just there's less body aches and just,
Right.
oh my God, it's crazy how different you feel. And so really out there, anyone that's wanting to lose weight, you definitely want to do something. And if you can actually feel satisfied, like you're not starving to death, it's so much easier to do some sort of a diet so you can actually burn that fat and go into that ketosis without being like, I'm starving.
Right. Right. Yeah, I find that you can just have a power shake and you're good. If
Awesome.
anything, or even I find that if you eat a whole cucumber, you're good.
Right?
You're good,
Right.
and it kills parasites.
I didn't even think of
Yeah.
cucumbers killing parasites.
Filling,
Wow.
they're filling, yeah. I had a friend of mine. I don't know if I should go into this story, but okay. So I was in Belgium. I lived in Belgium, and I have family there. And I was 17 when I lived there for about a
Oh,
year. Anyways, I kept in touch with the family there, and I was being like a doctor of her little girl. She was 12 years old. She's like, oh, my stomach hurts, da da da. And I just tuned in, and something came to me that she has a tapeworm. Okay, I don't
oh
know how
wow.
I knew. I don't know how I knew, but I put two and two together. Okay, she's barefoot. She's in the grass. There's a lot of rain that happens in Belgium. Everything's pretty green, and it's always raining. So I thought she had a tapeworm. So I looked it up online. What can you do to eliminate a tapeworm? And it said cucumber juice. So she starts drinking the cucumber juice, and like lo and behold, she calls her mom when she was in the bathroom, and I saw it with my own eye. There's a tapeworm coming out of her butt, and the mom was pulling
Oh.
it slowly, and it was about that thick. Okay, it was that thick.
What? Oh my God, that's so gross, that poor girl. But
She
wow, what a blessing.
terrified. Yeah, yeah. And then, she's pulling it out. And so we figured it out. I'm like, just keep drinking that cucumber juice.
Well, and I've also heard like pumpkin seeds you could chew because it cuts them, but it just seems like that would be a little more nutritious to have the cucumber juice, and you're actually getting good. Well, and like John Bergman talks about from Huntington Beach, when
Mhm.
we juice our vegetables and our fruits, it actually breaks it down to more of a nanoparticle so that we're able to receive the nutrients better than even doing a smoothie. And so my kids would giggle at me because I would juice everything, and then if I wanted the smoothie, then I was putting the solids back with it. They're like, "Why didn't you just put it?" I'm like, "Because it's breaking it down further."
That's so funny.
Well, I gotta geek out and like make everything difficult, but I figure, hey, I'm gonna get my nutrients right.
That's hilarious. Yeah, no, liquefy, liquefy. The less chewing you do, the better. And then going
Right.
back to the cucumber, it's very filling. So if you are on some type of regimen where you're watching your weight and you want to eat something, just take a cucumber and eat
Right.
it, and it will fill you up.
One
Yeah.
of the things I really like as well, I used to work at a restaurant here in Pocatello called the Healthier Place to Eat, and the lady that owns the restaurant, Mila Gokner, she has taken some nutritional classes where they were showing like what to do for vegans, for people soy free, like whatever free that you would be doing. And she said the one thing that she was told to add to the food was nutritional yeast
Huh.
because it has vitamins in it and it gives
Okay.
you your amino acids as well. And so that's also one, like if someone maybe might be a little bit more low income in their family, you can get that on your food allowance. Like maybe you've got food stamps or something, you can get that. And so even if you're working up, make sure you're still getting that nutrition, because you want those B vitamins any way that you can get them. And that's one of those things. Brewer's yeast is another one that you could try, that I know a lot of people have taken and eaten for the same reason. And it's really good for lactating mothers as well. Like maybe you're having issues with your milk, you can take the brewer's yeast and it helps to pump up your milk volume.
That's cool to know. Good to know. Yeah. See, information like that gets plugged in here. I have a very good memory. I store it in there. And if somebody needs it, it gets, activated. So awesome. Thank you.
Heck yeah. I breastfed all my boys, so I'm like, I had to know.
Awesome.
Super mom. Heck yeah. Awesome. Well, this has been really, really interesting. I love the volume and wealth of information that you've got. You're adding to my own repertoire of knowledge, is, because I'm a big knowledge seeker as well. I love science and nutrition and different things. And so now, as far as where could the audience get a hold of you if they maybe want to either do a coaching session, or maybe you want to do like a session with them to do your psionics or a reading, or maybe a whole plethora of anything, where would they be able to get a hold of you?
Okay. I have an Instagram. That's probably the easiest. One of them is called Fun Shine Fairy Tales. So it's spelled FUNSHINE, F as in Frank, AIRY, Tales, TALES. And that's you can probably see the Purium, the iShop Purium, if you are interested in any superfoods or CBD oil. You can probably find it there. And then I have another one. It's called Rocket Reiki. It's one word, Rocket, ROCKET, Reiki, REIKI. And that's where we can do the sessions, the frequency adjustments, any type of coaching, consulting, spiritual coaching, things like that. I also mentor people who are awakening to their abilities and don't know where to go. I just get downloads and I get guidance on how to unravel, that fear that's stopping people from using their abilities, especially right now. We need everybody.
Yes, we do need everyone to be able to raise their vibrations, and it's beautiful how many people are waking up to their gifts to be able to guide people gently into that. Really, really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I do want to give people a little bit of background, just to kind of get more related. And so I've had over 13, I don't know, death-defying experiences. I wouldn't even say near death, because, I guess near death, I almost died at least over 13 times.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm writing a book on that, and it really led me, like, just to be very grateful of my life, and it just led me on this path of spirituality and really self-love. And that self-love, actually, it really got infused in me when I went to Costa Rica last year, and I just had the time of my life last year, just doing plant medicine ceremonies and really discovering my true self and who I am and why I'm here and my mission and everything. And it really helped. It assisted me into where I'm at right now, and just that self-love. And I know we talked about that a little bit. It's like, if you can self-love yourself, it's that much easier to self-love, to love others.
Love
And
others, it really is.
because then that judgment that we humans, because we're human as well as spiritual, the judgment that we have on ourselves, that voice starts to quiet down. Then I used to find myself comparing myself to other people,
Right.
like, I'm getting older, and I'm looking like, oh, do I look like that? That kind of thing, or comparing myself looks wise too, and things like that. That actually is judgment when you compare yourself. So I stopped doing that, because when you judge people, when you judge yourself, you actually kill off love.
You do.
Love.
You really do.
Yeah. So I just wanted to share that background of who I am and that foundation I got.
Beautiful. One of the things that I learned, I've had some near-death experiences myself, and Jeshua ben Joseph, a lot of people like to call him Jesus Christ, taught me a lot about that. He said that the greatest sin is judgment, because all other sins stem from that. And so it really does make an impact. Even that when people are like, oh, well, I'm fat, or I have the rolls here, or I don't like my nose, or I don't like, whatever. My thing growing up was always a smaller chest. I had a really big issue, and I guess a stigma on that for a really long time. And until I was able to really learn to love myself for who I am and just really step into that goddess energy and own that, it just really makes a difference, because you just kind of prance a little bit, and it's such a different energy. But yeah, when you've got your cup full, you're able to pour into other people's cups. So really get out of that judgment energy and just love yourself for who you are. You could be a big, beautiful, full-figured person, or you could be very thin and a lot lighter, and it doesn't matter what spectrum you are on that body thing. Body shaming has got to stop. That's been so ugly in our world for too damn long. Everybody's beautiful. Everybody's sexy. We all are gods and goddesses.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally. And then to segue onto what Jesus was telling you. So when I hear the word sin, because I have this stigma about religion, right? I grew up Catholic, and I'm not practicing Catholic. However, I'm more spiritual, and I've learned that the word sin is actually you're just missing the mark.
Exactly.
And you're missing the mark, and then I started to interpret it more of like, wait a second, these are just choices I made. They're not good choices. They're not bad choices. They're just choices. And the judgment, right? The judgment that we put on it, that's what kills off what you're supposed to learn from it. So,
right.
So yeah, I just wanted to expand on that a little bit.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's always good to have a fellow, I guess, former Christian going into that more shamanic Christianity. And, I don't downplay religion. I think it's got a great place in the world on teaching people different values. Absolutely. We just want to make sure to remember to stay out of that place of being higher because, well, I'm saved, so that makes me better. Or no, I've been repenting and you're the sinner. We all are technically the sinner because we judge ourselves, we judge others, we might look at, well, that girl, that's every bit of that hurts us because when we look at that other person, all of us are kind of like a mirror of each other. We see our weaknesses and something else that we don't like about somebody. So the best thing that I've talked about with people that I've mentored myself, when we maybe have something come to our mind that's yucky about somebody else, what is it about ourselves that we're seeing in that? Turn it back around and say, you know what? I've got something to fix because I'm not loving my brother or sister.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because you can't see that in another person unless you have it too, whether it be good, whether it be positive or negative. So good to notice that. Great. That's great. I love it.
Well, we're coming up to the hour on the show. And so I just want to give a big shout out again to C4OC Radio Network as well as Revelation Radio 2. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. And if any of you guys have any questions for Felicia or myself, I'll have the links, all the information below as usual. Feel free to leave comments. with Cap Stevo or with Denny Ray. You guys can ask them. They'll get back to me. And you guys, we love you so much. Thank you so much for listening to Heart Mind Expressions. This is Amária Sweet and our beautiful friend here, Felicia.
Namaste, guys. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Mwah. Love
Thank you. Love you.